Good afternoon. We're so excited to be back on stage here at DPW. It was last year at DPW Amsterdam that we introduced you all to the concept of 10xing procurement with procurement orchestration. Now, everything starts with intake, right, at the point of origination of the request, and then flows into orchestration itself, which is managing the cross-functional work and the cross-functional workflow. And procurement certainly is the most cross-functional process, I think, inside of any organization. But this year, we've really been excited to have been working on something so much bigger. Now, I have to imagine that you all must be inundated with all of the talk about agents and AI agents, and must be so hard to discern what is real from what is just hype. And we'll touch more on that specifically in this session today, but I do want to underscore this is transformative. I think procurement is going through the most significant transformation it has ever gone through. Now, 5 years ago, Zip created this category of procurement orchestration. And today, we're excited to announce a new category, Agentic procurement orchestration. We at Zip just this week announced 50+ AI agents that are pre-built and pre-configured to do very specific practical things in your Zip workflows. And I sincerely believe this is the most practical application of AI in, I would even say, all of procurement software. And it's not just a 10x opportunity, it truly is a 100x opportunity. But what is, if we were to break it down, what is agentic procurement orchestration? It's 6 things. 1, agentic intake, taking a request from an end user and parsing it with natural language. 2, it's approval agents, having very specific agents in the workflow that conduct very specific reviews. 3, data orchestration, right, synthesizing all the unstructured and fragmented data that you all have in your stack. 4, proactive analytics. 5, seamless integrations, because ultimately, any insight from any AI agent is only as good as the data that it actually has access to. And 6, workflow optimization. But I want to actually double-click on approval agents specifically. AI agents, I think, are the most perfect match for procurement. And it's because if you break down the role of procurement, it consists of, let's be honest, a lot of very manual, repetitive tasks that your teams or you need to do. And you don't want to do it because you want to focus on more strategic work, but today you have to do it. Things like, comparing contracts at time of renewal, 2 different documents side by side on your monitor, or validating, insurance coverages and limits and things like that. These types of repetitive tasks are what AI agents are actually really good at today. But they're not quite there to handle ultra-complex work that humans do today. And the analogy I use here is that of autonomous vehicles. So Lou and I both live in the San Francisco Bay Area, and we pretty much exclusively take Waymos these days, which, if you're not familiar, a Waymo is an autonomous vehicle that, without a driver, will take you from point A to point B anywhere in the city of San Francisco. It can handle rain, it can handle UPS trucks parked on the road, it can handle a kid crossing the street, right? Complicated situations with literal lives at stake. And agents in software, in enterprise software today, can't do the equivalent of that today. They certainly will one day, but they can't today. The equivalent, that analogy that I'd use is, it's like, hey, I need you to go 3 blocks, with autonomous vehicles, I need you to go 3 blocks, it's a sunny day, there's no kids, there's no lights, just stop signs, go. Can you do that for me? And that, in procurement sort of language, is validating intake data. It is analyzing vendor risk, comparing contracts, right? These very practical things that agents can do today. And so that's why we're so excited to have built 50 specific agents that do very specific things, like these. Now, when we were looking at our own data, last year in 2024, Zip customers actually completed over 20 million reviews in our product. And each review, if you think about it, could have been hours long, right? It's one human reviewing an MSA that's 50 pages is literally just one review. So this is maybe over 100 million hours of human time going into these reviews. And 96% of them were reviewed by humans manually last year. With the rate of growth that we're experiencing, we expect to process 1 billion reviews per year just 5 years from now, in the year 2030. And the goal that we've set for ourselves is that 90% of those reviews can and should be completed by AI. And that is why we're so excited for agentic procurement orchestration.
Every once in a while, a truly revolutionary product comes along and it changes everything. And at Zip, we've been very fortunate to introduce a few of these products into the procurement world. In 2020, we created the category of intake and procurement orchestration. In 2022, we introduced to the world a next-gen Procure-to-Pay, bringing the same ease of use, the same intelligence from procurement orchestration into Procure-to-Pay. And in 2023, we took the first steps in introducing the first Gen AI features into our product, like AI vendor consolidation and AI risk reviews. And today, our AI is trusted by pioneering AI companies like OpenAI, as well as innovators like Snowflake, Canva, and Wiz. And we've been able to use AI to drive real value for our customers. To date, we've generated 4.6 million AI insights. But this week, as Rujul mentioned, really marks the most important milestone in Zip history, and we believe one of the biggest leaps forward that procurement technology has ever seen. This week, we introduced a fleet of 50 AI agents, and each one of these agents is embedded into the workflow, the approval process, and they're purpose-built to orchestrate your procurement tasks from start to finish. And with our no-code agent builder, you can even build your own custom agents on Zip. Or you can choose from one of our 50 pre-built templates. Let me show you a few. This is the tariff analysis agent. It's actually embedded into the review and the approval process itself, into where you're doing the work. And it shows how global tariffs impact the suppliers and the specific purchases you're sourcing. And it can surface the true cost drivers to help your team make smarter decisions, plan, and reduce supply chain risk. Here's another one. This is the DORA screening agent. It checks if a supplier falls under EU's Digital Operational Resilience Act. And if needed, it'll actually automatically kick off due diligence. And we offer similar agents for other major regulations like GDPR, SOX, HIPAA, so you can really streamline compliance across the board. The future of compliance will be completely changed by AI. But I really want to emphasize it's orchestration that really unlocks the full potential of AI agents for procurement. Why? Because an agent's insight really depends on two main things. First, of course, it's the foundational LLM you're using. But second is really the internal and external data sources that LLM has access to. And AI really needs to be deployed at the orchestration layer because that's where all of the data and all of the context about your business already lives. That's why Zip is uniquely positioned to deploy AI. Our average enterprise customer connects into 7 different enterprise systems, and some of our customers connect to up to 20. Downstream systems like your risk system or CLM really only have the risk context or the legal context. But as the orchestration layer, Zip really has the most comprehensive insight and context across your entire enterprise. And we can give the agents the insight they need to take action from one system and automate across the entire procurement lifecycle. We're so excited about this. If you're interested in learning more, feel free to come by our booth near the entrance at DPW. We'd love to give you a live demo of real agents in our product today, or feel free to scan the QR code that's right behind each of your chairs and to book a personalized demo and learn more about us. The future of procurement is agentic, and leading AI companies are already getting a head start in building it. That's why I'm so excited to have one of our customers, OpenAI, here with us today to share this stage. We've worked closely with OpenAI on our vision for agentic procurement orchestration, and we've taken a lot of inspiration from all of their procurement team has already built to optimize and streamline operations. And today, we're excited to share some of that inspiration here with you. With that, let's welcome OpenAI's Head of Procurement Operations, Travel and Expense, Kat Devlin.
Nice to meet you.
Let's go.
Hi, I'm Kat. I lead Procure-to-Pay, Travel and Expense at OpenAI. It's the green button. I'm here to answer a pretty big question. It's the question that I joined OpenAI to answer 9 months ago. And it is, how do you build the procurement function of the future? I'd like to start with our mission at OpenAI, and that is to ensure that artificial general intelligence, AGI, benefits all of humanity. Now, when people think of AI at OpenAI, they get really excited about our cutting-edge models and our technology breakthroughs. Internally, we think about AI a little bit differently. AI is not just about automation and efficiency for the sake of it. It's about augmentation. We see AI as a tool to amplify human decision-making, to give people the leverage to focus on more meaningful strategic work. We're not trying to replace human expertise. We're using AI to scale. The goal is acceleration with integrity. And it means everything we do, from research to operations, has to scale boldly and responsibly. Which brings me to our procurement mission. Our procurement mission is very tangible. It's all about making working with the world easy, fast, and safe. Whether it's our suppliers, our partners, our internal teams, our job is to remove friction, protect the business, and enable OpenAI to grow with clarity and confidence. I'm sure that mission isn't that different for your own procurement teams. For me personally, taking on this question of building the procurement function of the future and making a shift into AI first has been transformative to my career. It's completely changed the way I work. I've seen a procurement function evolve from a very reactive space focused on approvals and compliance checks and cost savings to a strategic partner that drives business value. But the scale and complexity at OpenAI challenged even my own assumptions. AI forced us to rethink how we buy, how we manage supplier relationships, how we govern risk and measure impact. And it did feel overwhelming, I will be honest. The technology was moving faster than the process. And we realized quickly that AI wouldn't magically fix everything. It wouldn't fix a broken workflow or inconsistent data. Our task became, how do we make AI work for us in procurement in a way that reflects our values with clarity, courage, and connection? We had to build the new muscles. And that meant investing in new skills, rethinking our systems, and getting comfortable with continuous iteration, constantly being ready to pivot. So when people ask, what does it really take to build the procurement function of the future? It's easy to think that the answer is technology. Maybe a year ago, I would have said technology. What I've learned is that it's not buying tools. It's about applying AI intentionally to solve real business problems while staying grounded in your fundamentals, whether that's your data, your relationships, or operating with excellence. For us, building procurement function of the future means that AI reduces friction, improves visibility, and frees up our time to focus where human judgment matters most. So, what did I do? Procurement, as you all know, depends on data. Clean data, not crap data, clean data. Supplier records, spend visibility, contracts, risk assessments. I could go on. But like every fast-growing company, our data was not perfect. And at first, AI amplified those issues. It surfaced gaps. But that visibility was exactly what we needed to have AI help us identify the problems faster and at scale. From there, we created agents to recommend and apply fixes. We reclassified spend. We standardized records. We filled in missing data gaps. And it has become a feedback loop. AI flags an issue, we validate the recommendation, and then teach it what good looks like. And it's gotten smarter, faster. It wasn't about AI replacing us. It was about AI helping us scale what we were already doing better, faster, and with more confidence. Which brings me to, oh no, we're not on Penny yet. All right, so I almost spoiled the surprise. Next, or in tandem, we focused on clear and tangible use cases where AI could remove friction right away. So we had her answering common sourcing questions. We surfaced contract terms quickly, and we guided people through policies in a way that was simple and actionable. Which brings me to Penny. Isn't she adorable? This was a team effort. One meeting and Penny was born. Penny is our AI assistant that helps internally with procurement tasks. We built Penny to speak in our voice and act with our procurement values. This wasn't about building flashy tech for its own sake. It was about making life easier for our team and our internal customers so they can move faster with clarity, urgency, and integrity. And Penny is accessible where we need her, whether that's in a browser window or in Slack. She connects with APIs, in this case Zip, and in this example, she reports back the details of a request. Or she can generate documentation. She can help me work through a SAL. But wait, there's more. Penny has friends. Meet Risk Buddy. Risk Buddy is designed specifically to address our TPRM issues. Risk Buddy does daily adverse media checks for us, pinging a mailbox every morning with updates. Risk Buddy does due diligence checks as we onboard new vendors. And here is Risk Buddy in action. Assessing a vendor against our 12 risk categories. This is work that Risk Buddy can do ad hoc and is also programmed to do in the background on a recurring basis. It takes seconds for Risk Buddy to complete this. AI has fundamentally changed how we work. What used to take hours, chasing down data, fixing manual errors, triaging inconsistencies, now takes us minutes, and in the case of Risk Buddy, seconds. It's about scaling foundational work. Think about it as procurement transformation, hyper-optimized. We're not reinventing what procurement does, we're accelerating it. And we're creating room for creative, strategic, value-added work that needs to happen and that we want to focus our energy on. And that is why I'm excited to start using Zip's Agentic AI technology in our intake, orchestration, and P2P processes, all the way from the start to payment. I'm very excited about those agents. Looking ahead, we see AI evolving into a true co-pilot, one that participates and anticipates needs, flags risks early for us, and continuously optimizes how we operate. So what can you take away from our experience? Well, I'm genuinely excited about what's ahead. AI is giving us leverage we've never had before. And what excites me most isn't the technology itself, but what it enables. Faster, smarter decision-making at scale without compromising on trust, transparency, or our values. So, how do you get started? Well, when we started this journey, it was tempting to think, I thought, we were going to need a grand strategy, a multi-year roadmap, or a big AI transformation plan. You don't need to do that. Don't boil the ocean. What worked was finding real pain points. What are your real-world problems today? Apply AI in simple, targeted ways to solve those problems. Learn as you go and iterate fast. For us, that meant starting with data classification, supplier visibility, and self-service policy guidance. These weren't the glamorous projects you like to think about, especially at OpenAI, but they delivered immediate impact. And every small win built confidence and trust for our partners, for our team, and for the business. Don't wait for perfect. Just don't wait for perfect tools, perfect data, perfect alignment. AI is a force multiplier, and it gets better the more you use it. By starting small, we were able to improve data quality while in parallel teaching AI how to work for us and build real momentum. And it's important to remember that AI doesn't replace expertise, it scales it. At OpenAI, we think of AI as a co-pilot. And in procurement, that means AI is taking care of high volume, repetitive tasks, while our people are focused on strategic decisions, improving our supplier relationships, and enabling the business to grow responsibly. If there is one message I want to leave you with, it's this. AI in procurement isn't a magic switch. It's a capability that you build, and it's a muscle you strengthen. Start with real business problems, apply AI where it can remove friction, and stay focused on outcomes that matter. For us, that's been the key to making AI work, not as a buzzword, but as a true business enabler. And that is why OpenAI is excited to partner with Zip to power the future of enterprise procurement. Thank you. Hope you all enjoy the rest of the conference.